This is the geometry video lesson for 11.5 volumes of pyramids and cones. We're going to start with the volume of a pyramid. So a pyramid is going to be similar to what we talked about what pyramids are. They're just like a prism, but instead of they have one base that comes to a point. And so the formula for that is the same as the prism, but 1/3 of that. So the volume is going to be 1/3 of a similar a prism with the same two bases. And an oblique, so it's going to be 1/3 remember this big B is area of the base, and then in the height, and so 1/3 of that. And an oblique pyramid, the height would be just from the base perpendicular to the point. Okay, so let's look at a problem. The entrance of the Louvre Museum in Paris, France is a square pyramid with the height of 21.64 meters. What is the approximate volume? As you can see here, we're missing a value. It's because I didn't draw the picture that was provided in the book. And in the picture in the book, this says that this is 35.4 meters. So, and this is a square. So my volume is going to be 1/3 my area of the base times my height. And they gave us the height as 21.64. And so the base is the square, is the area of a square, which is side squared. In this case, S is 35.4. So we're going to square that 35.4 to get the big B. And that is 1253.16. And then we can just plug that into a formula. So 1/3 of 1253.16 times the height, which is 21.64. And they want the approximate volume. So if we can multiply the big B times 21.64 and then divide that by 3, we get 9,039 about meters, and then cubed for volume. Okay, so this is just a formula. Just need to figure out what the area of the base is for your big B, and then multiply by the height, and then take 1/3 of that, because the volume of a cone or a pyramid is going to be 1/3 the volume of a similar, or a prism with the same base. So try this one on your own. A sports arena shaped like a pyramid has a base area of about 300,000 feet squared and a height of 321 feet. What is the approximate volume of the arena? So press pause, try this on your own, and check back for the solution. Okay, hopefully you got 32,100,000 feet cubed. This 3 is canceled, so you're basically multiplying 321 times 100,000. So you're moving this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. Okay, and your units are cubic feet. Okay, problem 2. What is the volume in cubic feet of a square pyramid with base edges 40 and slant height 25? So slant height isn't going to be in the formula, but we can use it to find the actual height. Right, so our volume is going to be 1/3 area of the base times the height. In this case, we want to find our h here. So if this is a square and this is 40, that means this is 20. So we're trying to solve a right triangle for h when one leg is 20, the other's h, and the hypotenuse is 25. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a is h, so h squared, b is 20 plus 20 squared equals 25 squared. So if we subtract 20 squared, minus, and then take the square root of that, h is going to be the square root of 25 squared minus 20 squared, and we get 15. You can also, when you solve these, right, do 25 squared, and you get 625, and 20 squared is 400, and then subtract that, like that, and then take the square root of that if you like that better. Okay, so this just means we got h, 1/3, h is 15. We now need big B. Probably should have done that first. Since our base is a square, big B is going to be side squared, where the side is 40. So 40 squared is 1,600. And so we're going to multiply that by 15, and then divide by 3, or multiply by 1/3, and that is 8,000. And our units are cubed, and they're feet. So 8,000 feet cubed. Okay, try this next one on your own. What is the volume of a square pyramid with base edges 24 meters and slant height 13 meters? So the same picture, just instead of 40, 24 meters. Instead of 40 feet, it's 24 meters. Instead of 25 feet, it's 13 meters. So see if you can solve this on your own. Press pause and try it, and then check back for the solution. Okay, hopefully you got 960 meters cubed. Your big B is just your square, the area of the square with sides 24, so 24 squared is 576. And then to find a height, you needed to solve the right triangle with a hypotenuse of 13, which was your slant height, and a side or a leg of 12, because 12 is half of the base edge, which was 24. And then when you solve that, you get 5, and then plug in, you get 960. Okay, moving on to volume of a cone. So this is the same exact thing, except for your big B is the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. So it's more specifically, right, your big B is just this pi r squared. This is your big B. So it's a little bit more specific, but the same exact thing we've been doing. So the covering on a TP rests on poles that come together like concurrent lines. The resulting structure approximates a cone. If the TP pictured, well, I didn't draw one, sorry. Here's one, is 12 feet high with a base diameter of 14 feet. What is the approximate volume? So our volume is going to be 1/3 pi r squared h. R is going to be 1/2 of 14, right? Because d equals 2r. So r equals 1/2 of d, which is 1/2 of 14, which is 7, and h is 12. So this is 1/3 pi times 7 squared times 12. And so you just have to do 7 squared times 12 times pi times 1/3, or divided by 3. And we get about 616 feet cubed. Okay, so here's an example for you to try on your own. They give you the height and the radius of the child's TP, or half those in the TP in problem 3. Oh, I guess we need to remember what those were. So the diameter was 14, which means the radius was 7 and the height was 12. So now our height is going to be 6 and our radius is going to be 3.5. Give that to you. Actually, this is one you're supposed to be solving on your own. So I did the hard part for you. What is the volume of the child's TP to the nearest cubic foot? Try this on your own. I've already started it for you, and check back for the solution after you push pause. All right, hopefully you got 77 cubic feet. I'm just going to plug that into this formula. Okay, problem 4. What is the volume of the oblique cone at the right? Give your answer in terms of pi and also round it to the nearest cubic foot. So we're going to do have 2 answers here. Since the diameter is 30, that means the radius is 15. The height here is 25. So we'll do, it's 1/3 pi r squared h. Let's do it in terms of pi first. This is 1/3 pi 15 squared times 25. And so we'll do everything but the pi. So we'll do 15 squared times 25 times 1/3, or divided by 3. So 1875 pi feet cubed. So that's our answer in terms of pi. And then just do 1875 times pi. And you get 5,890-ish feet cubed. So those are your 2 different answers. One is in terms of pi, that's this one. And the other is rounded to the nearest foot, that's this one. Okay, so last one for you to try on your own. Here is a new picture. I gave you the radius and the height. So give 2 answers, one in terms of pi and one rounded to the nearest foot, cubic foot. So press pause and try this on your own. Check back for the answer. Okay, hopefully you got 144 pi meters cubed and 452 meters cubed. So here's your practice. Email me if you have any questions. Enjoy.